Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Allison Turner. Most of you know me if you are on one of my social media platforms. But in case you don't, I live in South Florida and I own Batcat Media Group, where we do branding and online marketing and website design, as well as I do business coaching for startups or companies newer into business, making less than 100,000. And one of the things I really love to do is work with those younger companies or those companies that are struggling. A lot of times it's a solopreneur, an entrepreneur that just doesn't know how to get over that hump. Or maybe they're okay with settling at 30,000, 40,000, and they're still working a full-time job and working this business part-time, but their dream is really to work full-time for themselves. Their dream is to create the life that they want, meshing the personal and the professional life together. And that's not always so easy in life. And I wish I had known more about this back 10 years when I started this business. I started with a business partner. Luckily, she knew more about owning a business because she had done it before. But I was a deer in the headlights, very idealistic, very, oh yeah, it can't be that hard type of thing. I had no idea what I was doing. And I learned very quickly that you have to be in all these different departments within your company because no one else is doing them. It's not like when you had the full-time job where here's your job description and your little box that you fit into and that's it. No, you're running everything. Maybe some of you out there can relate to this. Have you ever run a business or started a business and you are doing it all? You're the marketer, you're the salesperson, you're the closer in the sales, you are the implementer of whatever the service is or the creator of the product. You might be the website designer, the accountant, you name it. All those pieces have to happen. And you have to either figure out how to do them yourself or hire people, which obviously costs money. So if you're brand new in business, that sometimes is not an option. But I wanted to talk a little bit today about creating your dream business. And that's really what I'm passionate about now is how do I help those who want to start a business or those newer in business or those struggling to get over those, that $100,000 hump? How do I help them create that dream business? Maybe you've been in business for yourself for 5 years and you've only made $50,000, or maybe you've been in business for yourself for 6 months and you don't even know which path to go. I seriously love working with people that don't have some of those preconceived notions, because I didn't have any of those preconceived notions back in the day, 10 years ago. And had I had that guide, I think I would be even further along now, which would be even better. But I had those sleepless nights when I started this business, and I was worrying about where the next money was coming in, how this bill was going to get paid, how this rent was going to get paid for our offices, how whatever else was going through the company, how those were all going to get paid. I had those sleepless nights. I felt out of control at times. I was struggling because I didn't know which direction to go with certain things because I didn't know all. You don't know what you don't know. And that was me. I had never run a company before. So even though I was running it with a business partner, we were separate in certain things. And I didn't have a clue what to do. I was learning as I went. I learned the website design piece. Instead of hiring, we did our own website design, but I learned that in order to do it. Was it easy? No. Was it doable? It became doable, but I struggled a little bit to make it happen. And I felt overwhelmed in the business. And I'm sure some of you can relate that you start a company and you feel overwhelmed. And one of the things, again, that I really love doing now is working with those people that either are starting or want to start a business or, again, are struggling in business. that's one of the reasons I've put together my dream business plan. And I'm actually launching a free webinar. So if anyone is interested in jumping on the free webinar, it's completely free. No problems. If you can get the replay of it. It's yourdreambusinessplan.com. Again, completely free. It's on Tuesday, September 26th at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you can't make it, I am recording it and I will send out the recording. But think about, what if you could create that dream business? What if you could create a dream business where you design the business to work for you instead of you working for the business? Because ultimately, you want to be the CEO of the company. You don't want to be an employee of your own company. And that's sometimes what happens, is we become employees of our own company. So it's like we're working for someone else anyway, because you got to do X, Y, and Z unless you have someone else running the day-to-day operations of your company. And creating that dream requires us to really define, what do we want personally and professionally? How do we merge those two together? Because I'm a big believer you have to create those hand in hand. You have to. And I believe this at the beginning when I started this company, but I don't know that I implemented it, because in the day-to-day runnings, you have to look at, professionally, how does this impact my personal life, and vice versa. You're creating the two together, not so you can work 8,000 hours, but so you can have a life with your business. You can reach that balance. I mean, balance is kind of a controversial word, and I consider it a controversial word because is there really balance in life? And I don't know that I really believe there's balance in a work-life balance and all this stuff that people talk about, because ultimately, sometimes you're going to need to work a little bit more, and sometimes you're going to work a little bit less and take more time for your personal self. You're going to go on vacation. You're going to pull back on your work. So I feel the balance is really creating the path. So you're not just like working 80 hours a week and that's all you're doing. That's ultimately what you don't want to do, obviously. I want to create a balance where I dictate what I do. If I choose to work more hours, awesome. If I'm growing something in my company and I need to spend some extra time in that particular piece, great. And that's what my choice is, versus, hey, I have to do this because if I don't, my company's going to fail. And that's really where the difference is. For me, it's a choice. How do you create the balance with a choice of what you're doing? And creating that dream business requires us to enjoy what we do, but also enjoy who we work with. Don't we want to work with our dream clients? There's nothing worse, and I will tell you this from personal experience, than taking on clients that you take on because you need the money, and maybe they fit in somewhere along the line, but you need the money and you take on a client and they're not your ideal client. Maybe you can help them, but ultimately, those clients you spend more time with and get more frustrated with typically than any of your ideal clients. Your ideal clients want your help. You love working with those people. Or if you work with companies, you love working with those businesses. Taking on someone that you don't want to work with because you need money, you don't want to do that. So creating that strong foundation from day one helps you not have to do that. Again, speaking from experience, I've done that. It's not fun. You don't want to have to take on those clients. In building the business over time, once you know exactly who that ideal client is, you can attract those clients. You can become the expert in your field. You can become the expert in your industry and attract the ideal client. So you don't have to worry about saying no to people. And you can say no. If they're not your ideal client, please say no. Don't take them. But ultimately, you want the message to be so clear that they won't be attracted to you to start with. And once that message is so clear and you are that expert, you will create those, you're going to create your own dream business. And that's exactly what you want to do. You want to meet your professional goals of your dream business without sacrificing your life. That's what you want to do in business. I mean, that's spoken from experience. Again, I've been in business for 10 years. I never saw myself in business this long. And I don't know what I thought when I decided to go into business for myself. I just thought, hey, let's try this out. Let's see how it works. And 10 years later, and they say that most businesses don't make it past the 5-year mark, and some don't make it past the 3-year mark. And you can look up those statistics because they're national statistics. And now I've hit that 10-year mark. So I'm going to encourage you, if you are new to business, if you're struggling in business, or say you want to start a business, jump on my free webinar Tuesday, September 26th. You can register at yourdreambusinessplan.com. Or if you know someone else that's interested, feel free to pass that information on to them. I love working with people that really want to make that difference and you want to make that impact on your ideal client. I hope this has been helpful, and keep thinking, what is my dream business? How do I create that dream business? I don't want to settle. You don't have to settle. And I'm going to tell you, do not settle. Create your dream business at yourdreambusinessplan.com. I look forward to seeing you there. Bye for now.